special edition. We're going to explore a few of the highlights of a historian, a great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yosef ben Yitzchak Sambari. Zecher Tzadik Livracha. He was a historian, well-known Egyptian Jewish historian. He lived between the years 1640 to 1703. Very, very great rabbi in of itself. He was, let's just say, a 17th century Egyptian Jewish historian and a chronicler whose works, let's say, provide important details, let's say, about the happenings and conditions of 17th century Egyptian and Levantine Jewry over here. So let's explore a few of the highlights of the famous rabbi's life. He's been very, very well documented over, and as we are a history series in of itself, it's always good to explore the life of great rabbis and historians. So he was born approximately, reported over, in the year 1640 in Cairo, in Egypt. And now, not much apparently is chronicled within regards to his family or his personal life, and that which is known solely derives from details he gives about himself, I think, in various different works of his. I believe in his early years he studied under Rav Hanania Barhon, who I think was a student of the historian Rav Abraham Iskandari. I'm not too sure much about him, but if anyone knows anything, please let me know. According to Rabbi Sambari's own testimony, let's just say Abraham Iskandari's rich library aroused him in an intense curiosity in history. Let's just say, in of itself, it really made him, and this in history, and later on he made extensive use of it in writing his work. So he became very curious and he became very into history in himself. I believe, come around the year 1660, he worked as a scribe for the Minister of Finance. It's reported over he would become a follower of the Shabtai Tzvi. After, at that point in time, a Sabbatean. We've spoken about other rabbis that might have been affiliated at a period of time and denounced it later on, and different politics that actually arose from it, and heresy that came behind it. But after the, let's just say, the collapse of Sabbatianism, Rav Sambari became extremely disillusioned and decided to begin chronicling the events around him. This is what reported over. I'm actually reading this actually from the Wikipedia page. He knew Arabic, Hebrew, and Spanish, yet I think his Hebrew orthography and grammar, let's just say, maybe according to this article, are very faulty. Some could have been faulty over here. I'm not too sure within regards to itself. Now, Rav Sambari's main sources for his works were, as they say, Yuhassin. This was by Rav Avram Zakuto. Now, Rav Zakuto was a very great rabbi, the Shevet Yehuda, and Rabbi Shlomo Ibn Virga, who are, I think, using the Divrei Hayamim. And also from Rabbi Yosef Cohen, the Shalshelet HaKabbalah, and from Rabbi Gedalia Ibn Yahya. This was a Korah Dorot. Rabbi David Conforte, another great rabbi we've spoken about, and the Seder Eliyahu Zuta by Rabbi Eliyahu Kapsali. It's also said over, he also used some of the, let's say, response of Maimonides and Rabbi David Ibn Abi Zimra. I think in his later life, Rabbi Sambari became very interested more in Kabbalah at that time. This would lead him to write, let's just say, a hagiography of Rabbi Isaac Luria, also one of the famous Kabbalists of Tzvat, respectively. Rabbi we've spoken about. The Ariya Kadosh is also known. Rabbi Luria Ashkenazi, really, really great rabbi of his time. So we'll start dealing with that now. It's actually interesting. I think the circulation of Rabbi Sambari's works was very limited, I think, in the 17th and 19th century, respectively, between the 1600s and 1800s. And only after small sections dealing with the Ottoman sultans, or let's say other figures and Kabbalists, were published in other works, it would not be until the modern era that Rabbi Sambari's works became of more interest, let's just say. Now, Rabbi Sambari died in Cairo in the year 1703. It's said over. I think the Katawi family of Cairo claim Rav Sambari as their family patriarch. I'm not too sure much about them. I'd recommend everyone to research within regards to that. Let's explore some of his works, including the Sefer Divrei Chachamim. This was Rabbi Sambari's first work, the Divrei Chachamim. It was a book containing the sayings of the great rabbis over there. I don't think it's any longer in extant, and is only known of because of the passing comment in his other works. Let's just say the work was apparently a historical account from Adam to Savorayim, let's just say, over there. Now, then there was another work called the Porat Yosef. Let's just say it was another work of his, Porat Yosef. It's only apparently reported over to be in extant in a unique manuscript, I think in the Alliance Israelite Universal Library. I think that was connected to the Alliance network of schools, Kol Yisrael Chaverim, schools over here. I think it deals with works exclusively with the topics of Masorah and biblical cantillation. Then the Sifrei Dvray Yosef, the Sefer Dvray Yosef. This, let's say, is a magnum opus of his work of the Dvray Yosef, I think, was completed on January the 23rd in the year 1673. Now, Rav Sambari began his historical work with the emergence of Islam, let's just say, presenting the figure of Muhammad as seen through Jewish eyes. He'll look at it through. He then goes on to discuss, I think, the histories of the Islamic dynasties from the Umayyads to the Ottomans. Now, Rav Sambari then goes on to describe the history of the Jews written against the Islamic backdrop, describing the life stories and activities of Jewish leaders and sages at that point in time, who lived around the Mediterranean from the 4th and to the 17th centuries. He goes into the niche details of the goings-on of Cairo's Jewry and the relationship between Jews and Muslims. He also discusses important topographical and demographic data of certain Egyptian Jewish communities. Rav Sambari spends 52 out of 228 chapters discussing the lives of all Ottoman sultans and their relationship with Ottoman Jewish communities. This in general, I think, inside this, and many other works. Now, I'll go back on what I said before. Within regards to the works, I'm just using let's say, the Wikipedia article on this. I myself will have to do more extensive knowledge within regards to this biography of Rabbi Sambari, because obviously he had an interesting life. History was a huge part of his life, and a lot of it is documented. And if anyone has any more of his works, or can also provide me with more links of excellent articles to do with him, I'd really appreciate this, because we're going on a journey myself on this thing. It does say, we did state, I would say with caution, he was possibly affiliated with Sabbateans at one stage in time. Seemingly he would have denounced his association with the Sabbateans. Many people fell prey. We actually spoke about the whole Sabbatean period, even after Shabtai Tzvi, let's just say, was denounced and put into Cherem. We spoke about it in the video we did of the Chacham Tzvi not long ago. Really great rabbi he happened to be. Also, within regards to other videos connected within regards to that era in of itself, when we were speaking about Amsterdam, what went on in the early 1700s. But I think at that point in time, he himself passed away at an earlier stage, if I'm not mistaken. So it's always good to go speak about chroniclers. This is not the first chronicler we've spoken about over here. He passed away in 1703. So at that point in time, the Sabbatean movement in of itself had like a sort of, it became apparent, especially Nathan the Gazan, that he was, and other Nachum Chayun, all those different issues, that they became heretics at that point in time. So I'm not too sure exact date he would actually cut ties with it, but he was a chronicler nonetheless. He really delved into Jewish history between the 4th, especially 17th century. Very valuable, probably some of his workings are. So I'd like to learn more about it. Also myself, have extra sources. Our friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great, famous rabbis of yesterday, famous chroniclers of yesterday, what actually went on over here. If you descend from any of the rabbis over here that we happen to be speaking about, please let me know. I would love to hear more information on them. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe. We're a community here. And if you feel anyone's interested in watching any of these videos, share the videos to other people also. And let's grow and learn more. And watch the previous videos. We've covered nearly 950 videos of great rabbis of yesteryear in this series. So wishing you all well, and take care, and have a great day.